before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Welcome back to the channels, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to spend a little time with me, your boy KT. Today we are continuing on our NFL standing prediction videos. We will be talking about the AFC West today, a division that was very intriguing last year and should prove to be intriguing this year. A lot of improved teams that got better in this division. Some kind of stayed the same but are still good enough to make the playoffs in this division. This was one of the harder ones I've done, trying to predict for this division, as there's a lot of good teams with a lot of good talent in this division, but I do have my list up and ready. Before I start the video, a few precursors. This is just an early prediction, and this is just my subjective opinion. You guys don't have to agree with it. If I say anything that might offend your team or offend your fan base, I'm sorry. This is just my thoughts on it. But yeah, we're gonna go in order of worst to first. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the last team in the AFC West. Coming in at number 5, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I have them going 6-11 this year, 1-5 against the division, 5-7 against the conference, 4-5 at home, 2-6 away, 1-9 against winning teams, 5-2 against losing teams, and 1-7 against playoff teams. For the Las Vegas Raiders, they had an interesting offseason, both in the draft and free agency. They picked up Geno Smith in the offseason to be their new starting quarterback. Of course, their blue chip prospect player that they drafted in Ashton Genty will now take over the running back room, with adding Raheem Mostert also to that room. They got some good talent on the receiving end as well, and Jacoby Myers and Jack Beck, who they drafted out of, I think, TCU. They also have Brock Bowers still sitting there, the ever-growing star Brock Bowers, who set records in his rookie season. Pretty good offensive line, if I do say so myself. They re-upped on Max Crosby, still got Christian Wilkins. So this team does have a bit of talent on it going into the season. They also picked up former Bengals linebacker Jermaine Pratt just recently as well. So, they got some pieces here on this team. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. The Raiders play in a very tough division. Three of the 4 teams, excluding them, made the playoffs last year. I think the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs all made the playoffs last year, with the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl last year. So they play in a very, very tough division with playoff teams. And when I look at this roster, I think the main question for me with the Las Vegas Raiders is, what does Geno Smith have left? He is a bit of an older type of quarterback. He's reuniting with Pete Carroll, who he's had good years with, but at the same time, he is getting up there in age. He's 34 years old. I don't know how much he has left. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is either. I can't remember who their offensive coordinator is. Don't correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. So please put whoever Las Vegas offense coordinator is in the comment section. I think Ashton Genty will have a pretty good rookie year, but at the end of the day, I do think that the division is just a little bit too talented for them, and they do start off with a brutal schedule. They got the Chargers, they got the Commanders, they got the Bears, and then they flip over and have the Chiefs in week 7. There are some swing games that I think could go either way. I think that Browns game in week 12 could go either way. Of course, considering how bad the Bears were last year, the Bears in week 4 could be a swing game. And I think that one of those Broncos games could be a swing game as well. Ultimately, I just worry about their quarterback play, with Geno getting up there in age. Couple that with, I don't really know too many guys in their secondary, so I think that might be a problem going into the season. The only guy I recognize on this team is Jeremy Chin in the secondary, and Eric Stokes, because he used to play in Green Bay. And that's probably going to be a weakness in which you play in a division with guys like Cortland Sutton, Xavier Worthy. The Chargers have really good receivers like Ladd McConkey on their team. So ultimately, all that ends up to me being a 6-11 record. They're not going to be putrid, but I just don't think they're going to be good enough to beat some of those teams out that made the playoffs last year. I'm intrigued to see what the Las Vegas Raiders do this upcoming season. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but as of this moment, I have them going 6-11 on the season. Moving on to number 3, I have the Denver Broncos finishing number 3 in the division at 9-8. Their overall record 3-3 against the division, 8-4 against the conference, 6-3 at home, 3-5 away, 3-6 against winning teams, 6-2 against losing teams, and 3-7 against playoff teams. For the Denver Broncos, they had a surprising year last year with their rookie quarterback Bo Nix playing very well, very efficient last year. Able to take care of the ball, leading his team to a playoff appearance last year. Now, a lot of that had to do with the defense as well. They did make some moves in the offseason. Some were puzzling. They drafted R.J. Harvey in the 2nd or 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken. They also signed J.K. Dobbins just recently. Still got Cortland Sutton. They signed Evan Ingram in the offseason as well. So they got some pieces on their offense, along with having Dre Greenlaw on the defense, just added him. Talanoa Hufanga has been one of my favorite players to watch in the league. He is one of my favorite strong safeties in the league. I love him. He reminds me of like Troy Polamalu for some reason. They got a good linebacking core with Greenlaw, Singleton, and Bonito, along with a good pass rushing core as well. A very talented one, a young one, a talented one. Plus their offensive line can still hold up with Garrett Bowles at left tackle, Ben Powers at left guard, and Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. Now, the only thing I'm worried about with this Denver Broncos team is, once again, the same thing with the Raiders. They do play in a tougher division. They start the year with a decent enough schedule. They got the Chargers in week 3. They got the Bengals in week 4, which is a swing game to me. They got the Eagles in week 5. They got Dallas, they got Houston, so they got a tougher schedule as well. As currently we're speaking, they have the 15th hardest schedule in the league, right over the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think the main question for this Denver Broncos team is, what steps is Bo Nix going to take to be even better this year? And do they have enough on their receiving core to be able to carry him to success as well? I know they got Cortland Sutton. I know they signed Evan Ingram. Marvin Mims Jr. is a young, talented receiver, but I think I still need to see a few more steps from him this year. Ultimately, they have a good roster. It's just all where Bo Nix is going to take him. Is he going to go through that sophomore slump like some rookie quarterbacks go through after they have a successful first year, and with the harder schedule coming up, or is he gonna rise to the challenge and lead this team up in the division? Now, the Denver Broncos are always going to be good at home. They play in the Mile High Stadium, so they're going to be good at home. I kind of worry with them on the road in some places, but they're going to be good at home. But they do have a tough schedule. They play Washington, they play Philadelphia, they play the Chargers twice. The Chargers I have the Chargers sweeping them for some odd reason. I believe the Chargers are just a little bit better. There's a couple of swing games on the schedule. Any one of those Chargers games could go their way. I think this Green Bay game in Week 15 is a little bit closer than I had in my head. I think Dallas in Week 8 is a really big swing game for them as well, as they're going to be playing at home. So this could easily flip into a different record for them. They have a lot of swing games on their rosters, all dependent on how Bo Nix looks this season. Has he taken the steps this offseason to get better? And do they have enough on the receiving core to be able to carry him to further greatness? All that being said, I have the Denver Broncos going 9-8 on the season. I do think that they're going to be competing for a wild card spot, though. I do think they're going to be competing with teams like the Steelers and teams like the Jags and all those teams for a wild card spot. I think they make it as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I have the Denver Broncos going 9-8 on the year. Moving on to number 2, I have the Los Angeles Chargers coming in at 10-6 on the year, 4-2 against the division, 9-3 against the conference. I have them going 5-4 at home, 5-2 away, 3-5 against winning teams, 7-1 against losing teams, and I have them unfortunately going 1-5 against playoff teams. For the Los Angeles Chargers, same roster that they had last year. They just added to it a lot more, especially in the running back room. Able to sign Najee Harris and draft Omarion Hampton in the first round as well to add to that running back room. And if you know anything about Jim Harbaugh, he likes to run the ball, and these guys fit what he likes to do. Pretty good receiving core as well. Ladd McConkey, a rookie breakout, is projecting to be their wide receiver 1. Hopefully Mike Williams can stay healthy, and Quentin Johnson can take that step that we all think he can. They also got Trey Harris as well, so that's good. Will Dissly, he had a pretty good year as well. They're going to get back Rashawn Slater this year. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the entire year. They signed Mekhi Becton to play their right guard, who was really productive for Philadelphia. Of course, they got the generational right tackle in Joe Alt. The only thing I worry about with this Chargers team is the defense, man. Khalil Mack is a name on their defense that still plays at a high level, but he is getting older, man. He's getting up there in age. They just lost Joey Bosa as well. Deshaun Hand projects to take over at that spot, I think. They were able to sign Dante Johnson to beef up their secondary a little bit more. I don't see Asante Samuel's name on here. I might be overlooking him, but I think they still have him. They also still have Derwin James Jr. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the entire year. It's health with this team, man. It's health. Justin Herbert, he can't get banged up this year. Mike Williams, he tends to stay a little bit banged up. Rashawn Slater, he's missed games. Mekhi Becton's missed games. Khalil Mack has missed games. Derwin James, of course, has missed games. So it's all health to me with this team. And couple that with the fact that they have a decent schedule. They're coming in at number 12 on the list for one of the hardest schedules in the league, right below the Kansas City Chiefs. So, they start off with the Chiefs in week 1, which I have the Chiefs winning. I do think they defend home field well. I do think that they're going to be able to be one of the best rushing football teams in the league. They got a couple swing games as well. Honestly, that Washington game, week 5, could be a swing game for them. That Minnesota game in week 8 could be a swing game for them. That week 11 game against the Jags in Jacksonville is a swing game for them. So they got a couple swing games. Week 15, I do think that the Chiefs do sweep them this year, but that could easily be a swing game for them as well. Actually, I forgot to pick one game here, and I actually forgot to pick the Dallas Cowboys at home. So I'm going to pick the Chargers away for them. So that would bring their record to 11-6. That's better. I knew something was a little off with my math there. I think they project that pretty well. I think their offense is explosive. I think Justin Herbert is still one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Got to get it done in the playoffs, though. He has to get it done in the playoffs. But with the system that they play, the guys they just signed in their backfield, and Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton, 2 guys that are power running backs that can break tackles in open space as well, and to play that smash mouth style football that Jim Harbaugh likes to play. Of course, they still got Ladd McConkey and Mike Williams on their team, so I think that projects well for them, man. I think they finished as the second best team in the division, only behind the Chiefs in that division. I have them going 11-6 after I picked them to win against the Cowboys in week 16. I think if this team stays healthy with their running game, with the way they're coached, I think they can take some big steps this year, get back to the playoffs, and hopefully make some noise in the playoffs. If anything, this year is wide open for them. The Chiefs, who knows how much longer they got to be completely dominant in that division. So we'll see. But I got the Chargers going 11-6, finishing number 2 in the division. And of course, the obvious pick and number 1, numero uno in the AFC West, it has to be the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, this has been the pick for everybody for the past few years. They've showed really no signs of slowing down these past few years. They just missed out on winning the Super Bowl last year for the 3rd straight time, I think. So, I'm sorry, back-to-back, in the NFL. So they showed no signs of slowing down. I got them going 12-5, 4-2 against the division, 8-4 against the conference, 7-2 at home, 5-3 away, 6-4 against winning teams, 6-1 against losing teams, and 6-3 against playoff teams. What's there to be said about the Kansas City Chiefs that hasn't been said already? They didn't really add too much on the offensive end this offseason. They really didn't need to. They re-signed Trey Smith, which was one of their biggest moves of the offseason. They still got Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, round out that very, very deep receiving room, in my opinion. Of course, they still got Travis Kelce. Noah Gray is also a really, really good backup tight end as well. They still got Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Jawan Taylor and on their offensive line. You look at the defense, while it doesn't have too many big names, like superstar big names, they still got Chris Jones. George Karlaftis gives them good production at that left defensive edge. Trent McDuffie, still one of the better corners in the league. They got, a decent enough secondary, and of course with Steve Spagnuolo back there calling plays for the defense, this defense is going to be a little bit more tricky than that. The main thing with the Kansas City Chiefs is they got Mahomes. It's just that simple. They got Mahomes. As long as they have Mahomes and he continues to play at a high level like he's always done ever since he's come into the NFL, they have a shot to be in the Super Bowl every single year. We keep repeating this game every single year with the Chiefs. Is this the year their dynasty ends, or is this the year they don't make the Super Bowl? For some reason, Patrick Mahomes, despite whatever success they have in the regular season, despite whatever weapons he may have, despite whatever weapons they may lose, despite how bad they look sometimes, they still end up going deep into the playoffs, definitely getting to the Super Bowl almost every single year. As long as they got Patrick Mahomes, man, they have a chance every single year. And, looking at the strength of their schedule, they have the 11th hardest schedule, right above the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think they excel against this team. I think they're going to be looking for revenge this season. That Week 2 matchup against the Eagles is a Super Bowl rematch that could go either way. That's a swing game. Week 4 against the Ravens, that's a swing game. Detroit, Week 8 against the Commanders, that's a swing game for them. Week 9, that's a swing game for them as well against Buffalo in Week 9. They have a tons of swing games that could go either way, because this is a team that wins a lot of games, man. They win a lot of games, with Mahomes back there, with Andy Reid still there, with Steve Spagnuolo still calling the defense. This team will always be in the contention for getting to the Super Bowl, winning the division, doing whatever you need them to do in the regular season. And when it comes to playoff time with this team, they turn it up another notch in the playoffs no matter what's going on. And as long as they got Patrick Mahomes on that team, the dark magic user himself, they will always be my pick for winning the AFC West. So I got them going 12-5 in the division. In this division, winning the division, and of course, possibly going back to the Super Bowl as well. But that's pretty much it, man. I think this is a good list for me. I think this was one of the harder divisions to kind of separate between the teams. I think there's a lot of talented teams in this division. Some teams got better in this division. But at the end of the day, I do think the top two teams will be the Chargers and the Chiefs. They have the two best quarterbacks in the division. I think they have the two best teams talent-wise in the division. And for the case of the Kansas City Chiefs, they have Mahomes. They have their all-time great quarterback. And, all-time great quarterbacks get better with age. And I think they ultimately end up winning this division. So that's my pick for who's going to win the AFC West. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Who do you guys got winning the AFC West? Do you agree or disagree with anything that I said in this video? Again, I could have went much more in depth with this, but then it would turn into a 25-40 minute video. So I didn't want to do that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Who you got winning this division? Do you disagree with anything that I said here? Have I missed anything with any of these teams that maybe I'm not seeing the vision of? Let me know down in the comment section. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video so it helps the channel grow. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these NFL videos. Coming soon, I will be doing the AFC South. That will be the last division in the AFC that I need to do. And then we'll go on to the NFC, which I think has a lot of interesting teams that have gotten better and that could possibly win the NFC and make some noise in the playoffs. So yeah, next time I do a video like this, it will be the AFC South. But make sure you guys follow me on social media so you get you'll get updated on anything that's going on before training camp or any moves that's been going on. And of course, I would love to discuss with you guys on there as well. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.